Have you ever felt that fire inside you after watching a motivational video? That spark that makes you believe this time it's different. You feel your blood heat up, your heart beat faster, and you tell yourself, starting today, I'm going to change my life. But then, 3 days later, you're back, sitting on the couch, phone in hand, repeating the exact same habits you swore you'd leave behind. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you lack willpower. The truth is much more brutal than that. The truth is, motivation was never meant to last. And as long as you keep waiting for it, you'll stay stuck. Let me tell you a story most people don't know. There's no hero, no applause, and in the beginning, it's ugly. But it has something almost no one dares to face: raw, silent, brutal discipline. His name was John. He was 38, a body wrecked by years of fast food, alcohol, and excuses. He worked in a warehouse, stacking boxes 10 hours a day. No dreams, no friends, no health. He had accepted that this was just life, until one day, he found a note stuck to the fridge. "John, the kids and I went to my mom's. You promised you'd change. We can't do this anymore." That note. It didn't hurt like he thought it would. It didn't bring rage or despair. It brought silence, a strange silence, the kind that only shows up when the illusion dies. Because in that moment, he understood something. The motivation he'd been waiting for all those years was never coming. He was waiting to feel ready. But that feeling was never going to show up. And that's when he did something almost ridiculous. He grabbed an old notebook with a torn cover, opened to the first page, and wrote, "Day 1, wake up at 5 a.m., run for 10 minutes, no junk food." That's it. No big promises. No self-love affirmations in the mirror. The next morning, the alarm went off at 5 a.m. He wanted to smash his phone, but he got up, put on sneakers that barely fit, walked outside, face swollen, barely awake, and ran. Well, he stumbled. He gasped for air. He sweated cold, and he threw up in the street. It was humiliating. And when he got home, he collapsed on the kitchen floor, legs shaking. But he picked up the notebook and wrote, "Day 2, no music, no applause, just him against himself." And he kept going, day after day, rain. Fatigue. Flu. It didn't matter. He just had to follow the plan, not because he was motivated, but because he made a pact with discipline. 3 weeks later, he didn't throw up anymore. 4 weeks later, he was running 3 kilometers. 2 months later, he had to buy new clothes. Nothing fit anymore. But the most important part was what he started to understand. Something no one had ever explained to him. Success isn't about how you feel. It's about what you decide. Motivation is a visitor. It shows up, makes a mess, and leaves. But discipline lives with you. It's boring. It doesn't praise you. It doesn't care about your mood. It just shows up and drags you forward. Most people are waiting to feel like starting. When I feel more confident, I'll begin. When I'm in the mood, I'll go back to the gym. When this hard phase passes, I'll fix my finances. But that moment never comes. Because life doesn't slow down. And motivation is too weak of a drug to handle reality. Jocko Willink, a former Navy SEAL, once said, "Discipline is freedom." And that might sound contradictory, but think about it. When you're disciplined, you don't depend on the external. You don't need the perfect mood. You don't need to feel okay. You just act. And that is real freedom. John learned this the hard way. In 76 days, he rebuilt his body. In 90, he was clean from alcohol. In 6 months, he picked up a second job, paid off part of his debt, and reconnected with his wife. But the real transformation wasn't getting his family back. It was the shift in identity. He stopped being the man who waits and became the man who executes. Today, if you ask him, "How did you change without feeling like it?" he'll say, "Because I stopped trusting how I felt and started trusting what I committed to." You want to change? Then stop chasing motivation. It's volatile. It's weak. It's a cheating lover. What you need is a plan, clarity, and the courage to repeat the process every single day, especially on the days when it feels pointless. Because that's when transformation happens, not on the easy days, but on the days when every part of you wants to give up, and you go anyway. If you're waiting to feel ready, you've already lost. Change isn't for those who feel. It's for those who decide. Now tell me, do you believe this really happened? Have you ever gone through something like this? Then comment below, "I choose discipline." If this video touched you, it's because it needed to reach you. Share it. Send it to someone who's waiting for the right moment. And subscribe to this channel, but only if you have the courage to truly change.